I'm headed to Colton's. He bought a arrow or a fletching jig and an arrow cutter. Bought him some arrows. We're gonna build him some arrows. So I'll see when we get there. I genuinely don't remember the last time I went up this hill. I live like half a mile down this hill. I genuinely don't remember the last time I didn't see a deer driving up or down this road. Like, doe management is a must around here. That truck. Watch this. Hey, how much did your dad pay for that truck?
So what's going on, guys? Today I've already started building some arrows. I've got my Victory VAP TKOs. They're 300 spine, and I think they're like 9.7 grains per inch. And for
I weighed one of them and it was 266.
Yeah,
like the bear shaft.
Bear shaft. They're honestly a fairly heavy arrow. They're heavier than I've ever shot. I had these Easton Bloodlines and they weigh next to nothing.
But I will, like, these arrows, these are tiny.
Yeah,
that is crazy how thin they are.
They're like a 4mm, I think.
Dude, that's the thinnest arrow I've probably ever seen.
And I mean,
like, compare it here. Set it next to this one. Just you can kind of see the size difference.
I don't know if you're going to see it on there or not, but it's a dramatic. Well, I set it on top. There's a solid difference right there. But it's a very solid arrow, though. I mean, it's like very small and compact, but stiff. My biggest problem right now is deciding on what I want to do with weight. Already measured I've got 50 grain inserts and 95 grain inserts, and we'll touch on that in a minute about why that matters. Let's see if I can get this. When you get one of those arrow holders, it's not.
I think if you face it this way.
That's on grams. So 490.
490. I mean, that's about where you want to be.
Yeah, it's a pretty heavy arrow, and I'm shooting a 27-inch draw with I'm gonna have a 75-pound bow. Once my new one comes in, you know, been waiting for about a month now, but we're gonna get started on some of these rest of these arrows. It's pretty nice, and I've got them cut down. Here's this arrow, which with the inserts, you're looking at an extra what, 1.5 inches there?
Yeah.
Not counting.
I mean, you definitely don't want that.
The point.
Yeah, you definitely don't want that touching your thing, though.
What?
Like, you don't want this to go on your wrist.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying.
I already drew them back and everything to make sure. So I'm going to go ahead and cut down these two. Or no, I've already got one right there. And what you want to do is pretty much just set it in there. Which I've got this piece of wood kind of low-key in my way. Go ahead and turn your cutter on. Put it up there to it. And spin your arrow. That's it.
It's pretty slick.
And to get a perfect even cut, because human error, you can get some sandpaper, set it down flat.
See, that's what I did with mine, but I was like this right here.
Yeah.
And mine, it took me a little bit to get mine right, but it worked.
I wouldn't advise this, but I literally took mine and turned this thing on and just kind of rubbed it on the side a little bit.
That's what T-Bone does. I watched their videos about building arrows, and he would take his and somehow, I don't know if he had some kind of other, and set it against it and like spin it. That's what he done.
That's what I did on all my other ones, but this one I didn't obviously do it yet, but I'll just remember that when I get ready to do inserts. See, I've got 2 more arrows here, so go ahead and put it in. Don't turn it on yet. Set it in your rest. Put your foot on it.
See, like weeks ago, me and Colton talked about it, and I was like, I want to be sitting around 590, and he was talking about he wanted to be at like, well, at first he was like 450, but you went up a little bit.
See,
to like 490.
What I'm afraid of, which I've never shot a heavy arrow before. Now, when I say a heavy arrow, anything more than just a regular bare shaft with a broadhead.
I mean, we weighed those, and they were like 360.
Yeah. So
total weight.
With 100 grain.
Yeah.
Fill point. So I'm kind of dipping my toes in it. My biggest thing is I want to be able to shoot that 70, 80 yard range.
Yeah.
Not saying I want to shoot a deer at that, but
elk more likely.
What I'm afraid of, which especially if we go out west, and I would like to do that in the future, you're going to be shooting, that 60, 70 yard range. And I want to be able to pack enough of a punch, but also not be so light that it doesn't penetrate. Mm-hmm. So I feel like there's got to be a happy medium in that.
I know Michael Waddell talked about it too. I don't know why I watch a lot of the Bone Collector videos. Michael Waddell talks about it, and he said back when like Rage and Matthews was popping off, he shot like, he was getting down to like 350, like low 300s when he was shooting arrows. And then he realized he wasn't getting near as many pass-throughs.
Oh, yeah.
So he went back up to like 500. I think he shoots like a 500. T-Bone shoots like a 480, 470, something like that, if I remember right. But they don't go super heavy, even though Michael shoots a 80-pound bow, 80-pound Hoyt.
See, the biggest thing in that is draw length. A lot of people don't look at that neither because you're looking at your IBO speeds are mostly set up on bows with, like a 30-inch draw, maxed out at like 75 pounds. So whenever you get that IBO speed, like Matthews is phase 4, 33 ATA is 336. Well, that bow's set up on like a 31-inch draw with 75 pounds, and that's how they're getting that IBO of 336.
Mm-hmm.
And not to mention they're probably shooting like a 350 grain arrow through it. So you're not, me being a 27-inch draw length, I'm not going to get a fast of a bow speed as yours would.
What is this? Oh, you clean your arrows?
Yeah.
Me and Drew, well, you're putting flashing on. I was going to say, me and Drew did not do that.
Oh.
Dude, we just took Gorilla Glue, got our arrows pretty straight, and threw them things on there. I guarantee there's probably a 10 grain weight difference because of Gorilla Glue. Like, because some arrows, man, we piled that stuff on there.
The fletchings.
So you're shooting like boning? Is that what those are?
Yeah. Well, I think that's the great thing about the wraps, dude. I can literally just...
If you want to switch?
Yeah. That's the great thing about these. I mean, it took me... They were kind of aggravating to get off, but once you get them off, there's no glue on it.
Yeah.
And there's no stripping, nothing. It's just peel it off with your fingernails. I got 4 arrows here, and I screwed up on one yesterday. So I've only got 3 left. Put it on top of here. So.
This is a nice tuning setup he's built.
Yeah, look at that. You like the engineering here?
I mean, dude, this looks good.
Yeah.
Is that 2 shots?
No, it's just one. It's just one. I just took a shot in it just to see what it'd do. So, my first shot through this
I don't know if I can see it right.
Made me realize that my target is a little wore out, straight in the middle. Because
You just went right through it?
which I mean the fletching was...
Did it go through the wall?
Yeah, which I had my target, idiotic myself, had the target sitting like right here.
Uh-huh.
So it passed right through and boom, right in the wall. Luckily, I don't even know how.
So I'm having a hard time focusing because it's dark, but jeez, man.
There's 1,000 words I didn't bust my arrow because like it was in there.
At least you got new arrows, though.
Yeah, that was my thing. Which this one, it's a Britzenberg. I might be butchering that, but
It's Breitenberg.
yeah. You can do right helical, left helical. I've not messed with that because you're supposed to have a right helical clip
Jig, yeah.
and a left helical
Oh, well, that's the jig
clip.
back there.
But I didn't order that. This, though, is like the hardest part of wrapping arrows. It's good. Take my finger and push it down. Not sure why I did that, but
You're a hair crooked. Wouldn't bother me. Run it.
sometimes it gets dust on it too. It helps with a nice clean table if you've got it. You just roll it. It says 20 seconds with the heat of your hands to wrap it. I take it over by the heater and just kind of circle around the heat a little bit to help.
Yeah, it'd probably help some.
I mean, all it is just a little bit of adhesive.
Yeah, I'd say that'll do.
Just make sure it's good and tight.
So like the heavy arrow thing, if you're interested in it at all, look up like Ranch Fairy, or even just look up heavy arrow setup and watch people talk about it, or arrow builds. All your big people, like I know Chris B has a video on it. The Seek One,
I don't know if he does.
I don't think he's talked about it, but I know Chris B has talked about like heavy arrow setups and his arrow setup. And if you're interested in it, look up like Ranch Fairy or something. I watched Ranch Fairy's like 40-minute video on it. And he talks about like hog hunting.
I think he's a bit
Kooky?
Hog hunting, I can see.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you're going to want, here's the thing about going into a heavy arrow. If you expect to go shoot a 60 yards with a 600 grain arrow, you're not going to do it.
I mean, yeah, I think you definitely can, but it's hard.
It's hard. So I've talked to some people. They've got like a 550, 600 grain arrow. And they're like, the furthest I can shoot's like 65 yards with my 70-pound bow, because if I go any further, which most people have a 1-pin sight, if I go any further down, it's going to hit my fletchings. And I'm like, I don't want that to happen, but I still want. That's why.
Yeah.
You know.
In all honesty, I would like to be sitting like at 520, but at the same time, I mean 600. My bow really don't drop that bad. Like I've seen a lot worse. It's a 5-second bond, so you better hurry.
It ain't that quick. It's. And we'll go ahead and set this in. You're supposed to line your. On these wraps, you're supposed to line where the wrap ends up with a fletching to make sure whenever it's glued, it'll hold better, so to speak. And I'm right on it now, so we're good. And you just push her down a little bit.
How much time did you spend researching how to build arrows?
I watched a couple of videos on it. It's pretty, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Really.
Yeah, as long as you get a few videos of people talking like some few tips, I feel like it'd be all right.
Yeah, and I mean, literally, anybody can do it just by reading the instructions of how to do it. The only hardest part is figuring this thing out. But, like, even on Boning's instructions, it tells you to glue a drop of glue on front of the fletching, which, and if you watch any videos, they literally tell you to do that. So I'm like, I feel like half these videos that I watch, they've probably done it very few times and have just took instructions off of Boning's fletching and was like, yeah, this is what you have to do.
And technically, this is Colton's second time doing this, if you want to count the ones he built the other day.
Yeah.
The versatility you have being able to build your own setup.
I can build them on my own time. I ain't got to drive down the road.
Yeah, honestly, Drew, he's probably going to want to do like a right, or a left, like helical or something. Because I know he's going to shoot a single bevel broadhead. I know he's wanting to switch over.
What do you think I should put it at? The
What?
50 grain inserts? Or 45?
I mean, I'd be shooting right at 495. I was you, especially with a 75-pound bow.
So
I'd be shooting 495 all day.
What scares me is I've got a 27-inch draw. And the 33 that I got is a slower, which I say slower. It's literally 4 feet per second slower than the 29.
I swear I'd go for the 495. Because at 75 pounds, man, I swear you're still going to be shooting I guarantee you're faster than the bow you have now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm shooting 600 out of my 80 with, I'm shooting 600 grains out of my 80-pound bow at just under 250.
I watched a video last night, and
So I guarantee you're at 265.
the guy was shooting the Phase 4 70-pound with a 30-inch draw, and he had a 490 grain arrow, and he was shooting 290, I think. No, it was 285.
It's pretty good.
So I was like, if I'm gonna be shooting a 75-pound bow with a lesser draw length, so I think I'm hoping to be right there around 275, 280. It was funny because my sister's boyfriend, he said, yeah, my buddy, he got a Phase 4 yesterday. I was like, did he order one? He's like, yeah, I think so. I was like, I hope mine's in. And then I come to find out he just bought one that was there. I got all this stuff, this cool stuff for this new bow, and no new bow. Perfection. Perfection.
What you think? Tell a tune about like this one. Everyone's going a different direction.
Yeah. It really don't take a whole lot.
Let's see what we're looking at.
Finished product.
I wonder if the glue adds any. I think it added a little bit.
Like point.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Let's just see if the glue adds some. Wow.
Our last video, no, not our last video.
But the bow
setup video has hit 1,000 views. And me, Blue, Drew, and Troy are extremely ecstatic about that. I mean, without y'all, we literally have 80 subscribers.
Yeah.
But so that shows that the people that are watching, y'all need to like and subscribe. But we just want to thank y'all for watching because I mean, we just started making videos. Like, we didn't start making actual videos until like a month ago, right?
I mean,
2 months ago.
When I killed my deer.
But
like a month after my deer kill, because that's when I edited the footage.
Your deer kill was our first actual video, other than podcasts. So we're definitely going to keep pushing out more quality videos. It might not be on a schedule, obviously, because we don't want to bombard y'all with just a bunch of videos that are just junk. But from the bottom of my heart, Blue's heart, Troy's and Drew's, which aren't here right now, we thank y'all for watching. And I mean, it's very appreciative. We're all ecstatic, and we just hope to see more of that.
But when I released my deer video, it hit 300 views in 24 hours. And then the bow video, the bow setup video, passed that up.
Which, I mean, a big part of it is your editing. If it wasn't for Blue's editing, our videos would not be near as interesting or fun. As we've talked about, I've got the 95 grain inserts. And I'm going to put 100 grain. Yeah. I'm going to put 100 grain tips on them, field points, and broadheads. They're going to be right at 490 grains, the arrow and weight altogether, which is pretty good weight, like we said.
If there's a little bit of air of margin that we can just clip off, I mean, why not do it?
That's the whole point of why people go to, people went to a mechanical broadhead, because it had a wider cut.
That and they flew. Or you never had to tune.
Yeah. That too, you don't have to tune it. There's no error of margin there. It shoots straight, just like your field point. So why not go ahead and shoot a heavy arrow and cut down that error of margin that it can get a complete pass through. There's no guarantee it's going to get a complete pass through, but you've got way more ability of getting a complete pass through, which is what you're after. Well, that's going to wrap it up for my arrow build. Like I said, I've got some wraps on the way, so I'm going to finish those. But we're probably going to do another video on my bow and my bow build and how these shoot coming out of my bow, which I've bombarded y'all with my new bow coming in because
A little bit.
I am filled with excitement, but you know that comes with it if coming into a new bow. But I believe that's going to be it. We're going to wrap it up here. Call it a day. Thank y'all for watching.